You know, the biggest problem we had during the entire operation started out as a routine recovery.
Okay, Lee, why don't you go ahead and pop it and then back her down. Releasing float, releasing float.
Intermittently, we were having a problem with the recovery float failing to deploy. We were sidling the ship up alongside the vehicle so we could wrap on that float with a boat hook. This particular time, it ended up towards the stern of the ship, and the stern crabbed basically over the top of the vehicle, and that's when it was struck by the ship's propeller.
Yeah, you can keep on backing. Actually, just stop. And it's headed back in this direction.
Essentially, the wind was not cooperating with the current. They were going in different directions. We had some communication issues between the deck and the bridge, and all of that just stacked up for a bad situation. So before we knew it, Ginger was under the boat, and then she was very quickly spat out and had been struck in the tail. So, yeah. Luckily, the propeller just barely grazed the vehicle. If it had really gotten sucked in, it could have chopped it completely in half.
When they pulled the shroud off the thruster housing, there was a very visible divot in the titanium thruster housing where you could tell the prop from the ship had literally smacked that titanium housing with really quite an amount of force. And we found a crack in the titanium housing itself. I knew we were in trouble. It was a big piece of trouble. That we didn't have a replacement part. Chances were there weren't many of them around the world that weren't being used. There's only 6 of these vehicles in existence.
No, that's definitely the first plan of attack, is to see if we can, get a gracious loan from someone in the community who might have another tail section.
I knew we weren't getting her back in the water overnight. Once we determined that we did not have the replacement thruster housing, I knew that we were at least a week or more, and I feared a month from getting it back in the water.